making your way onto all fours, hands and knees, to warm up the wrists. So drawing the wrist underneath of the shoulders and knees underneath of the hips here. So taking one hand and then flipping that hand under so that the palm is facing up. So you have one hand facing forward and then one hand that's facing back. Yeah, so you want the palm facing up towards the body, and then you'll just start to squeeze the four fingers towards the thumb. So palm facing up. Yes, good. Palm facing up. Yep. And then just continue to squeeze those fingers towards the thumb, spreading the fingers as you release them. And then flipping that palm now so it's facing down and back. Good. And then you'll just simply rock the hips forward and backward. Yes. Keep pressing the heel of the hand down into the mat. Good. And then you'll take that left wrist, shaking it out, circling it around, and then planting it back on the mat. Same thing with the opposite side, palm facing up, fingertips facing back. Spread the fingers nice and wide and then start to clench and unclench the palm of the hand. And then flipping your palm, fingertips facing backward, rocking the hips forward and back. And now taking that wrist, shaking it out, swirling the wrist around. And then planting the palm on the ground, tucking the toes under. We're just gonna hover the knees here for a moment. So engaging through your core, lifting the knees so that they hover right above the mat. You're keeping your core engaged, actively pressing the floor away with the hands and the balls of the feet. We'll hold here for 3 breaths. One more breath. Engaging through the core, and then big exhale, press the hips up and back behind you. Keep your knees bent for this first downward facing dog. Lengthen the spine in 2 directions here. So pressing the palms down into the mat, lifting the pelvis up towards the ceiling. 2 more breaths here. Hugging those triceps in towards your heart. And then we're coming back into that knee hover. So dropping the knees, but then just hovering them right above the mat for 3 breaths. Good, keeping everything nice and engaged here. And then big push, press the hips up and back, downward facing dog, knees slightly bent. Imagine that you're squeezing a block in between your inner thighs here, and that you're squeezing a block in between your forearms. So keeping active arms, active legs here. 2 more breaths. Good, 1 more time. Hover the knees, 3 breaths. So warming up the shoulders, warming up the core and the spine here. Good, and 1 more deep inhale. And as you exhale, press the hips up and back, downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Good, dropping the knees back down onto the mat. We're making some circles here. So shifting the shoulders around, shifting the hips around as if you're trying to draw a circle on your mat. And then changing direction, circling the other way. Good. Coming back to the center, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Inhale, look towards the top of the mat. Rise up onto the balls of the feet and begin to walk your feet forward, bending at your knees as you need to. Hands to the shins, halfway lift. Lengthen through your spine. Glide the shoulders down the back. Keep the head in line with the spine. Good. And then we're going to start to float the arms here. So with some core engagement, you're sweeping the arms back behind you and then sweeping the arms out in front of you. So you'll exhale, take the hands back. Inhale, draw the arms forward. We'll do that 3 more times. Big breaths. Grounding down through the feet, lifting through the arches. 1 more time. Inhale, take the arms up and overhead. See if you can hold it here for 3 breaths. Bend your knees as you need to, engaging through the whole back side of the body. 1 more breath. And then exhale, release the hands back down to the shins. Forward fold, release your head down. Bend deeply into your knees if you need to. Bend your knees a little bit deeper, rising all the way up. Come all the way up to standing. Inhale, take the fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, turn the palms down for sun breaths here. So bringing the palms down towards the thighs. You can slightly bend the knees. Turn the palms so they're facing up. Inhale, the palms lift up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, palms facing down like you're pressing the breath away from you. Good. On the next breath in, the palms face up as if you're trying to lift the breath up towards the sky. Good. 2 more times. And again. Exhale, palms facing down. Inhale, turn the palms up. Nice breath in. Circle the arms down, around, and back as you fold forward, hinging forward at the waist. Release the hands towards the shins or the blocks. Release the head down. Halfway lifting and lengthening here. Breathing out, plant the hands onto the mat. Step your feet back into downward facing dog. And you can pedal the feet back and forth here. Bending one knee and then the other. Two more breaths. And then shift it forward into your plank pose here. Shoulders over top of the wrist. You can lower down chaturanga or drop the knees, keep the elbows in nice and tight by the ribs. 1 long line from the knees to the hips all the way to the crown of the head. Lower yourself down. Flip the tops of the feet, pressing into the mat, lifting up into cobra here. So really press down through the tops of the thighs and the feet, lift the kneecaps, elbows and shoulders move straight back. Big exhale on the way down. Tuck the toes, pressing yourself back up into downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Active arms, active legs. Being fully aware of the breath of the inhales and the exhales. Good. Dropping the knees down to the mat. Child's pose, hips to heels. You can take the hands back towards the feet and just let the shoulders drop, resting the forehead down on the mat here. So if you need to, you can also put a block underneath of the head, or you can take a pillow or a bolster and put that underneath of the chest, whatever allows you to be more comfortable in the posture. But just being aware of that sense of being connected to the earth beneath you. So being aware of those points of contact between the body and the earth, and allowing yourself to sink down. And whenever you feel ready, sliding the hands up to the chest here, pressing yourself up onto all fours. You can take some cat-cows here or some spirals. You can take some barrel rolls. Just move intuitively. What needs to be moved, stretched, and released at this point? Just listening in, tuning in, paying attention to whatever it is that your body needs in this moment. Three more breaths. Good, and then coming back to a neutral spine. You can shimmy and wiggle a little bit, maybe even take some neck circles here if you like to release the neck. And then sitting the hips back towards the heels. Swing your hips to one side and extend the legs out in front of you. A little bit of core engagement, so press both of the feet into the mat with the feet hip width apart. Palms are facing up here. Really press the feet down into the mat as you slowly lower yourself back. Use that core. Lower, 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 nice and controlled. Then draw one knee and then the other into the chest, circling the knees around here. And then finding your version of Shavasana, whatever that is for you. Maybe you'd like to lie on your back in traditional Shavasana with the left foot near the left corner of the mat and right foot near the right corner of the mat. So maybe that sounds right for you. You can tuck the shoulders under if you like. Or maybe side lying Shavasana sounds more appropriate. So your bottom leg is straight and the top leg crosses over. And you can take that top arm wherever is most comfortable for you for this side lying Shavasana. Or you can make your way into reverse corpse pose and come to lie on your front. It really just depends on what feels most comfortable for you. But wherever you are, allowing yourself to feel a sense of grounding and taking a moment to just recheck in with yourself. How are you feeling at the end of this class? Mentally, physically, emotionally, how are you? Just settling into stillness for the next few moments. And whenever you're ready, beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes, circling your wrist and your ankle, stretching your arms and your legs, gently turning your head from side to side. And if you're on your back, rolling onto your side. And if you're on your front, taking your hands on either side of your chest, pressing yourself back into child's pose. If you're already on your side, then just resting there for a few moments. And then whenever you're ready, making your way up to a comfortable seated position. And bringing the palms together in front of the heart, elbows are wide, thumbs gently grazing against the breastbone. And just reflecting on your intention just one last time. Taking a deep breath into it and a deep breath out of it. Letting that intention settle right into the heart center. And giving yourself permission to let go of any tension or anxiety that you might still be holding on to. Giving gratitude, blessings, and thanks for this practice, for this day, and for this life. This practice of slow flow vinyasa is complete. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you again next time.